Okay, good morning to all. So we have seen the loops, various loops. I have just introduced the loops in the last session. We will continue that. Okay. So this is how the loops will get executed in the case of C programming. There are three loops available. One is while loop, the second one is for loop, the third one is do while loop. Now we need to know what is the difference between while loop and do while loop, right? And when to use which kind of loop. That we need to know. For a good programmer, we need to use the respective or required statements or required loops at required places. Otherwise, the execution time will be more. As in the previous session we have discussed about how to improvise a program, right? So it is like that. Instead of going for a control operator, we have used if else statement, a nested if else statement. Instead of that, a single if statement could able to be done, or a single control operator would have been done the process. So likewise, we need to use the appropriate places where it is to be used. Otherwise, the execution time, the memory space required to store the program, all these things will go. As far as the competitions, coding competitions, hackathons kind of thing, one such hackathon or coding contest is before 14 years it has been started by IEEE. There is something called IEEE Extreme. If some IEEE members are there, they might be knowing about this contest. Okay, IEEE Extreme is one contest which is a global level contest. It is a 24-hour programming contest. So if you are a IEEE member, then I would really recommend you to get into IEEE Extreme contest. That is about 20 to 30 programs, situations will be given to you. For that you have to do a program. And as far as the coding contest, any coding contest is concerned, we have other coding contests like TCS Code Vita, Hack with Infi is one thing. I've heard that few of the students who are here have applied for Hack with Infi, right? So for all these coding contests, people will have the correct answer, but still they would have not get the score. Why means, so once the logic is correct, you have done the program, few things they will be checking before giving you the score. One is plagiarism. Plagiarism means you people will be taking the same logic from a website and you would have made the program, right? So the artificial intelligence which is embedded with the coding contest, that software, it automatically check from which website you have taken this logic or you have taken this program or part of the program. Suppose people may do the programming combining the program parts from different websites. So that also it will check, right? So which are all websites from which this particular program was made, right? So that is one thing. When it is coming to the second point, there are two parameters will be checked. If the plagiarism check is over and if it is found good, that is the program written by the person is original of his nature, then they will be checking 2 points. One is the memory space occupied for this program, for storing this program. and the third one is the amount of time, execution time it is taking, whatever may be the programming language. So almost in all the coding contest, they are given, that is, we are given an opportunity that you can code in any language, C, C++, Java, Python, C Sharp, likewise. So lot of programming languages are there. So that will be that freedom is given. Either it is IEEE Extreme or TCS Code Vita. As far as TCS Code Vita is concerned, it is a 6-hour programming contest and 6 different situations will be given. So before that you have to complete it, right? So that is the coding contest. So you have Google Kickstart, you have Microsoft programming contests, and I would like to say one thing, my dear friends. All these coding contests, almost even IBM is conducting a coding contest, right? All the coding contests conducted by the corporates, all the coding contests conducted by corporates will lead to a job, right? If you have scored so much and if you have come within the first top 50 places, 100 places, 1000 places, they have a lot of each and every corporate will have their own rules and regulations and their own methodology to recruit people. All these coding contests are conducted for the talent acquisition. So they are in search of the talents, good talents. Google is recruiting completely on this coding contest. So there is something called Google Kickstart. Google Kickstart, you have to keep on applying, and throughout the year, each and every month, I think you have coding contest, Google Kickstart coding contest, right? So if you could able to, there are several rounds in Google Kickstart. In fact, one of the second year student has completed 5 rounds. Actually there are 12 rounds, something like that. So if you have completed, if you have come to the 10th round, something like that, then automatically an interview will be called for. Automatically they will schedule an interview for you, and they will call you for an interview, and online interview you are supposed to clear the interview. If you have cleared the interview, whether you are continuing your study or you have completed your studies, they don't bother. Google will hire you. Even at the second year, some of the second year students have hired by Google, right? In some of the institutions I've heard. So one second year student, I have motivated him, and he has cleared about 4 or 5 rounds in the Google Kickstart. It will start with A, B, C, something like that. Just go through the Google Kickstart page soon after this class and try to get the date of the Google Kickstart and try to do that. Try to write the exam. Okay, fine. So with this preamble, we'll get into this looping. So that is what I wanted to say. So you have to use which loop when. So that should be known. So in the case of while loop, so the working is like this. Start, some initialization value is given, that is, this is a counter value. I is taken as a counter value, I is initialized, and we are checking whether I is less than a value. That is how many times it has to be done. So that is been checked here by using a while loop, while I less than 11, something like that, right? So by having a while statement, if the condition satisfied, then it will go here, yes, print I something, some statement. This is the body of the loop. This is your body of the loop, and while loop will have a statement at last by having an increment operator. Either it is plus I or I is equal to I plus 1, something like that. So you have to increment the counter inside the loop itself, and it has to be continued. Once the satisfaction is not once the condition is not satisfied, then it will go to the stop, means it will go to the next statement of the program. Okay, so this is what while loop will act. So coming to the for loop, it will work as start, and in this for statement we will be having three different parts. One is, if you have any doubt you can interrupt me, very well, not a problem. So as far as the for statement, here you can see there are three items available inside a for loop. So this is called initialization part, this is called as condition checking part, and this is called as increment part. Okay, increment part. Now for each and every loop these two statements will be working, means as far as the first initialization part, it will act only one time in the whole loop, any number of iterations. For loop any number of iteration is there, but the initialization part will get executed only once. So it is coming like this: start I is equal to 1. That's all. The job of this initialization statement is over, and after that it will be checking is I less than 11 each and every time. If it got satisfied, print I, then it will go to this statement. So the body of the loop is this. So at the end of the body of the loop, the third statement, that is called as increment part, right? Increment part will be executed at last, that is after the body of the statements, body of the loop. Whatever statements available inside the loop, this will get executed, and the I is equal to I plus 1 will get executed. Then again it will check, it will get incremented, then again it will check. So that is how this for loop is getting executed. There is something called even you can, these three parts, that is I is equal to 1, I less than 1, I plus 1, if all the three things need not be available, kandipa irukkanumnu avasiyam illa, even all these three things may be dropped, one, but the semicolon should be there. For example, this is a valid for loop. For a semicolon, another semicolon, I'm sorry, close. Even like this you can execute for loop, there will not be any error. Only thing is the initiation part, increment part, and condition checking part has to be available inside the for loop statements. Inge neenga kuduthikalam. So the last statement may be like whatever happened in while loop, I is equal to I plus 1, and before this for loop you can initiate like while loop, I is equal to 1, and inside this for loop immediately you have to check if I less than 11, if I less than 11, then break, finished, or continue, something like that you can do at the end. At the end you have to check this, right? Each and every time you have to execute print I, after that if I less than or equal to 11, continue, correct? So something like that you can do it continuously. Okay, so then you can drop these three values also, correct? Next, coming to this do while loop. So it's all fine, right? Both the loops are working fine. What is the requirement of a while loop? Anyone? If you want you can say, or you can type in. If you can say it, then I will be happy. It is more interactive, like a live class. What is the difference between while loop and do while loop? Why there is a requirement for a do while loop, or at what condition or when this is required, that is do while loop is required? For what application do while loop is required?
Sir, while is entry check loop, sir, it will check the condition at entry.
Okay.
While is exit check loop, it will check the condition at exit, sir.
Okay, very good, well said. But what is that this is the structure difference, correct?
Yes, sir.
But what is the application I'm asking? When we should use do while loop? Yeah, whatever you said is correct. Entry level check and exit level check. Any idea? So that is how you need to, just like that, we should not use any loop anywhere. That is why I am asking. So that was a good answer, Sri Krishnan. I am happy that people are connected, talking to me. That's happy. I am delighted. Any idea?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. I'll say you. The thing is, as far as do while loop, at least one time the loop will get executed. Like while loop and for loop, even you can prevent operating the loop not even one time. You can prevent it. But do while loop, at least one time the loop will execute. This is one thing, right? So wherever application is required, one time it has to be done. One thing. And the second major difference is, even you can, without knowing the count, without knowing there is I11, I less than 11, you can, without knowing the number of loops, while loop and do while loop are used without knowing the number of iteration to be done. So without knowing the number of iteration to be done, do while loop and do while loop will be used. So the major difference of do while loop is, one time minimum it will be executing. Minimum one time it will be executed. So you should not use do while loop all the places. While loop and for loop you can use anywhere, but do while loop, if you use it, at least one time it will get executed. We may think that it will not executed. No, it will get executed at least one time, right? So that is a major difference. That is what I know. Okay, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, we will move on to the exercises. This we have seen yesterday, correct? So what is the output of this? Do you remember? People are typing.
Infinite loop, sir.
Yeah, indefinite loop. That is, it will start from 1 to 127. It will go till 127, and after that minus 128 to till, that is minus 1, 0, again 1. So the condition is always go. So it is continuously coming. Okay, fine. That is the output of this. Second one is this, also we have did. So what will we get?
ASCII value of the character and 0 to 255, sir.
Yes.
1 to 255, sir.
Okay, fine. 1 to 255. Suppose if a semicolon is available here, what will happen? Just think.
Print only one time, sir.
Yeah, it will print. One time means?
Sir, only one time loop will get executed and it will come out of the loop, sir.
Okay. There is no loop actually. So this 255, nothing can be done. So time will get. Yes, Nivedita, you are trying to say something. Okay, so nothing will get executed inside the loop, and this is another block, just a block of statements. And here, what is J? What will get printed?
ASCII value of J and 1 will get printed, sir.
1, Leon. Is it 1 or 255?
J is equal to 1 only, sir.
Okay. Why means even inside the loop, nothing is, the J value is not changed. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Next. Yes, what is this? What will I get? I hope everyone is getting the concepts. Already we have seen this anyway. Others, try it. Let it be wrong here.
Sir, 1 to 256, sir.
1 to 256. Is it? Okay, let us check it. Yes, first 1 is coming, J is 1. J less than 255, yes, J is 1. So it will print plus J. Plus J is done, then it is printed. It is pre-increment. Pre-increment means it will get, yeah, Ayush is correct. Yeah, lot of people. Priyadarshini, Rajan, yeah, 2 to 256, correct. It is not 1. 1 will not get printed. Okay, 2 to 256. Good. Lot of people could able to get the results. Happy. Okay, moving on to the next. Why it is not loading? Yes. How about this? Yes. What will we get? Think, not a problem.
It will go to integer there and check the maximum value and it will run till that value, sir.
Okay. So what is this? This is the limit of the integer. This is the limit, highest limit of integer. Then what will happen? That is, A is 1. First what it will print, then it will print 1 first, correct? So very simple, 1 will get printed, 2 till 214, the whole value will get printed. After that, what will happen? So when you increment this, what will happen? So this particular chapter is going to be very interesting. I have read this chapter like a novel. Till the chapter closes, I didn't kept the book at all. What will happen? Dial, yeah, infinite loop. Very good. That is correct. So it will go to dial. Then the next, when it is incrementing, it will go to minus 2147483 Yes, exactly. So again we will get a infinite loop, indefinite loop we will get it. Continuously it will go on printing the values. Good. I'm happy. Right. How about this? What is this? printf statement return is coming. Yes, give a try, not a problem.
Compiler error, sir.
Okay, let me listen to others, and after that I'll give you the answer. Error. Okay, I hope everyone joined in mic only. You can talk to me, not a problem. Then only that real class feeling we will get, right? Immediately you can say also. Don't worry, we have to do mistakes. Only here we can do mistakes. Okay, Ayush and Sri Krishnan told that it is error. Rajalakshmi is typing. Let me listen to her. Priyadarshini is typing. Okay, syntax error. Okay. No, my dear friends, it will very well work. So, as in the for loop, the explanation I have told, this part will be done once at the start of the loop. First time the loop is getting executed, this will done one time, and this will work out. This will work out at the end of the. That is the last two statements are this. This third statement, third one is the last but one statement, and second part is the last statement. Right? So that is, it will check the condition, it will increment and check the condition. It will increment and it's check the condition. So it is not mandatory that, so the loop will work like this, that's all. Whatever it is there, it will get execute. That's it. That is all I told. Even you can drop all these things. Even you can drop all these three parts, only two semicolons. If the semicolon is not there, then the meaning is syntax error. Then it will pop up an error message, of course. But if the semicolons are there, it will not pop up an error message. So whatever it is available, this will get executed. Then this particular part will get executed. Now tell me what is the answer. First I is 1. Let me cancel this. Just try it now. First I is 1. Printf. It will print. Yeah. Correct? I'm sorry. Let me go to the second slide. Sorry, third slide. So see here. First, this will be done, initiation part, and the second one is the condition checking part, and at the end of the program, the third part will get executed. I have told in the other way. This 2, 3 only. I'm sorry. It was a small slip. Sorry, this one, right? Yes. So what will happen? The first one is I is equal to 1. This is over. It is initiated. Infinite loop. Marudima. Okay, fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Here, when it is coming here, I plus plus less than or equal to 5. So here I plus plus less than or equal to 5. So now we should know what is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment. Pre-increment means it will increment, then only the value is applied in that statement. So always the unary operator has the highest priority. Highest priority is unary operator. Okay. So if it is pre-increment, it will substitute the value for the statement, but before finishing up that instruction, it will get incremented. Now what will happen is, first I is equal to 1. Now it is checking 1 less than 5. The first loop is like this. 1 less than 5. yeah, the condition is satisfied, then it will go. But when it is going, I will become 2. I will become 2 and it will go here. So 2 will get printed first. Right? Now the I value is 2. It is checking here 2 less than or equal to 5 and I is incremented to 3. 2 less than 5. Here I value is 2 and it is printed. Here I value is 3 and that is getting printed. Okay. Right. Now 3 less than 5. So at least one loop will completely trace it. I becomes 4. I'm sorry, it's tough to write now. 4 gets printed. Then 4 less than 5. It is checking. It's hard to write here, sorry. 4 less than 5 and I becomes 5 now. 5 gets printed. The next time 5 less than 5 is checked. The condition is not satisfied, so it will not go to the next statement at all. Okay, so what will get printed now? Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6 also will get printed. That is 6. 6 will get, so nothing is in the body of the loop. 6 will get printed and it will go and check the next time. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct? Yes, less than or equal to. Yeah, less than or equal to. Yes. Yeah, it's satisfied. So 6 will get printed. After that, yeah, I didn't check it. Less than or equal to. You are right, Indrani. Right? Till 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will get printed. Then it will stop. The next time when it is checking 6 less than or equal to 5, the condition will not satisfy. Then it will not go. Okay? It will not go to the body of the loop. So since body of the loop is not over, it will not go to the printf statement at all. Is that clear? Is that interesting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. Yes. Now you try it. Yes, I is 1, j is 1. Initialization part is left out. Not a problem, it is good. It is not required. J. In the condition part, j is given. So what is the meaning? What is the meaning?
It is always 1, sir.
No, it will check the value of j. If it is a non-zero value, then it will give true. So that is condition is satisfied, so it will go on. Fine?
Sir, we have given 1, so I said like that, sir.
I'm sorry?
We have given 1 as a number, sir, so I said like that, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So j, whenever it is a non-zero value, the condition is not satisfied. Otherwise, unless otherwise, j has got some value, non-zero value, the condition satisfied, the loop keep on executed. It will proceed to the loop. Okay. Now coming here, j value is 1. Okay, the condition satisfied, it will go here. J is assigned like this. So which is having a higher priority, which is having the lower priority? How many operators are there? 1, 2, 3 operators are here. Which will be done first? assignment operator, increment operator, and less than or equal to operator. Which will be having the higher priority? First, it will do.
Less than or equal to, sir.
No, my dear friend. I plus plus. Unary operator is having the higher priority. Yes. So I will get checked here, but I plus plus. Since it is post increment, I will get done here, right? That is, I will get incremented. Yeah, increment. So unary operator. Yeah, people told. So I is nothing but 1. 1 less than or equal to 5. It will check. 1 less than or equal to 5. Yes. Then j becomes 1. So the first loop, the first iteration means first iteration j becomes 1, correct? Means 1 less than or equal to 5. The true means 1. And what is the value of I? What is the value of I? I becomes 2. This is not capital I, this is small I. Printing mistake, I think. So the next statement is this one, whichever is available here. So the next statement to be done is, in the first iteration, I and j get printed. So 2, 1. And new line characters there, the cursor will come here and wait. Is it fine? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when it is coming to the next time, j, it is checking the j. J value is 1 now. So condition satisfied, it is going here. J is 2 less than or equal to 5, it is checking. 2 less than or 5. So j becomes, for the second iteration, so let me write the output here. Okay, j becomes 1 and I becomes 3. I becomes 3. Okay, I becomes 3. Now what will be get printed? I and j. So 3, 1. Yeah, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 0. Let us check that also. Right? Can you check it again? Likewise, you do it. Let me wait. I hope everyone is having a notebook and a pen and noting down all these things. Please make a note of all these things. Even if you tell me to go slow, I can do it. I can go slow, not a problem. But all these things, when you are copying down, it will be easy for you. Yes. So when I becomes 5, so likewise we will have 4, 1 and 5, 1. Let me come to this. So some loop, first loop, second loop, third loop, fourth loop, fifth loop, fifth iteration will go. Fifth iteration we will go. What will happen? J becomes 1 and I becomes 5. J1, I5. And sorry for my writing. I is 5. Okay, at this condition, it is going again, checking the value of j. J is 1. Okay, so condition satisfied, it will go. What will happen to this? 5 less than or equal to 5, right? 5 is I. 5 less than or equal to 5, condition satisfied, right? 6 will get printed and j is still 1. The next iteration I am going. So j is 1. That is j is 1. So here j is 1. So got satisfied. It will go here. J is, that is I is 6. 6 less than or equal to 5. 6 less than or equal to 5. The condition not satisfied. So j becomes 0, j becomes 0, and but I, what is the value of I? What is the value of I? I becomes 7 now, and it will get printed, and after that it is checking j 0. So 7 0 will get printed. After that, when it is checking here, j becomes 0, so nothing will go. So the answer is 21 31 41 51 61 70. Is that clear? Or you want me to explain it again? Oh, I'm sorry, 9:45. Okay, we'll go for a break and come back. I'm sorry, I didn't see. Suddenly people started dragging down.